So, reprove someone, but don't do something that would make you feel guilty. Have you ever reproved someone and then felt guilty? Yes? Why? Anybody? Does anybody remember? When you reproved someone and then you felt guilty. Let's think of some situations. Where would you feel guilty to reprove someone?
If you've done the same thing before.
If you've done the same thing before, you feel guilty because you're a hypocrite. Right? Okay, so keep yourself pure so that you will be able to reprove other people. What other situations? Maybe if you've done it in public. Would you feel guilty if you did it in public? Does Facebook count? Seriously? Yes, right? It's public ground. Did anybody ever reprove you on Facebook and everybody was able to see? Some of you didn't feel good, right? So don't reprove in public. Make sure you deserve. Don't start hating the other person. Right? Do you notice how many times in the name of religion people hate each other? Did you notice? It happens, right? So this one is saying, don't do that. Don't do that. You shall not take vengeance or bear grudge against your countrymen. By the way, there is another law in the book of Exodus that says, if you're going to take vengeance, then make sure it's proportional. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, life for life. Remember the law? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. It doesn't necessarily say go ahead and have vengeance all you want. What it's saying is, if you're going to get vengeance, just eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Don't take more, right? I'm trying to prepare you for the Sermon on the Mount, which we're going to discuss tomorrow. We're going to talk about these things. Love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. Is that clear? Because I'm having most trouble with that one. Love your neighbor as yourself. Do you love your mom more than you love yourself?
We have to answer.
I think so. What do you think?
But can it simply be treat other people as you would like to be treated?
Do you want to do this way?
That's not what, do you unto others as you want them to do to you? That's going to be in the Sermon on the Mount. That's not what this text is saying. This text is raising a significant challenge. Love yourself. Do you find that hard?
There are some things which are weird because you can also be boastful about like how you love yourself, so you have to like maintain your balance. So you have to be thankful for like what God gave you, but you can't be like, oh, I'm like the best person in the world.
Yes! I have a hat, the best hat in the world. Do you know how many of those hats they sell? I'm the number one Steelers fan. Do you know how many number one Steelers fan license plates there are? I don't have a license plate. But, so don't be boastful. Now seriously speaking, all of you know the people who walk around and go, I look good. Huh? Right? Where sometimes they go, oh, I think I put on some weight. Because you're supposed to come back and go, nah, you're thin as a toothpick. People who go, oh, I am so stupid, and go back, no, you're smart as a whip. Right? So it can go the wrong way. You can be very proudful. But love yourself. Love yourself. It's a good thing to do. You look in the mirror and say, I'm comfortable with who I am. You look in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful. If you're a boy, you say, I'm handsome. You think of yourself and you say, I'm lovable. Yes, yes, I'm worthy to be loved. Yes. Some of you may have had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and the other person comes and says, I love you so much. You are so beautiful. What is your answer?
Are you crazy?
Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Because you're going to look at the other girls and say, oh, they're so much hotter than I am. You're going to look at the other boys and you're going to say, they're much better built than I am. And your loved one is telling you, you are beautiful. And all you're supposed to do is say, thank you. Thank you. And you make me feel even more beautiful. Instead, what do? No, you're crazy. And we're trying to convince the other, like we have convinced ourselves, that we're not worthy to be loved. That we're not beautiful. Correct? Isn't that what happens most of the times? And why? Because we loathe ourselves. We don't love ourselves. Sometimes we might even hate ourselves. And we have 17-year-olds who commit suicide. We have 16-year-olds who are thinking of plastic surgery because they don't love themselves. And we have 15-year-olds who act not as themselves, but as the cool kids in school. Why? Because they don't love themselves. This one says, love your fellow as yourself. Saying basically, it's okay to love yourself. Does that make sense? So next time somebody tells you, I love you, you're beautiful, you're smart, don't convince them otherwise. Try to understand that you really are. You should be happy with who you are. Do you sometimes walk in a park and see an 80-year-old man, all wrinkled, with a 75-year-old woman, and gravity took its toll upon her? And they walk hand in hand, and then they sit on a bench, looking each other's eyes, and you go, I want that. That's what I want. I want to be an 80-year-old man, and my wife to look at me and think that I'm Prince Charming. That's what I want. I don't want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't want to be smart like Einstein. I want to be who I am, and my wife Loredana to look at me and say, that's a good-looking man. That's a smart man. That's a good husband for me. Understand? It's tough, isn't it tough? To love yourself. But to also keep the balance that you're mentioning there. You're absolutely right. Balance. And most of the time, the people who don't keep the balance is because they hate themselves. And they want everybody to reassure them that they're thin, that they're tall, that they're strong. And God forbid you don't notice, or you don't make a comment about how good they look. Love yourself. You go to a party, don't be threatened by all the good-looking people there. Some of you are in college, or maybe are going to go to college soon. Some of you are going to go to big university. I teach at Duquesne University, it has 10,000 students. What are the chances that there are going to be some really good-looking people there in campus, huh? Most of them are children, like you, right? And so can you imagine being a girl or a boy on Duquesne campus? You have to be very confident. Because you have all these people who are really, really good-looking, very smart, it's a good university, and you cannot lose yourself. You cannot start hating yourself. You have to love yourself. And at that point, you have to be able to look in the mirror and say, good, I love myself. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Any comments on that? Because I want to go next, my dear friends, not to Matthew chapter 5, but to some text towards the back of the reading. Hold on, don't go there yet. Let me ask the question first. How much do you love yourself? Would you be willing to give your life for someone? Raise your hand. Yes, but can you think of one person or one thing for whom you would give your life? Raise your hand. I'm telling you, those two little girls there playing, I'm going to give my life for them in a minute. Ask it of me any second, and I'm willing to give my life. Talk about a very serious thing. Are you willing to give your life for someone? No.
Well, in specifics,
You have to have something specific in mind. I'm not asking you who or what. Might be country.
Yeah.
Good. Very good. Very good. Put your hands down. All of you are very young. And to me, this is a very humbling thought that people young as you, with your whole lives before you, are willing to give your lives